Who would have thought the automotive and electronics industry would have an interest in the mining sector? Is there a connection between the two, and what does that look like? We're going to delve into that with Jennifer, and she joins me now. Jen, thanks so much for your time. So automotive and electronics, I mean, these are fairly new markets in the mining industry. Why is it so important for them to join the world of mining?
The Responsible Minerals Initiative, or RMI, is really excited to be here at Indaba for our first time. If you had asked companies when the RMI launched around 2008 where their minerals came from, most of them would say, we don't buy minerals, and they have relationships with their tier 1 and 2 companies, but they certainly didn't know the mines where the minerals came from. Now flash forward 15 years, and there are 3 main drivers which I think are bringing companies to the table here at Indaba. One of these is higher visibility, the next is higher expectations, and the third is higher demand. And so in terms of visibility, the companies really have done the due diligence work in the intervening years, using standards and assessments audits like those that the RMI deploys to map and understand their supply chains. And so now they do know many of these connections to the mining companies and specific mines for the minerals that are going in their product. Secondly, expectations. It's a really dynamic regulatory environment, and there are many more requirements on automotive and electronic sector, whether that's mandatory due diligence laws or mineral-specific laws like around conflict minerals, or product-oriented regulations like the EU's battery requirements. So all of those demands on the downstream are really going to cascade up to the mining company, and they're here to say, hey, this is what we need from our responsible supply chain, and to have those conversations face-to-face with the mining companies. And then thirdly, demand, with the demand for critical minerals and products for the green energy transition. Companies need to secure their supply. And so for all these reasons, it was important for us, for the RMI, to be here, to be part as a convener of this discussion and bring together the upstream and the downstream.
Yeah, it's a nice segue into my next question, because I'd love to know what you want to see from the mining companies, especially from mining companies on the continent.
So again, the members of the RMI, the downstream companies, they are producing the products for the green energy transition, whether those are electronic vehicles or the batteries or other components and things that will go into the green energy transition. They need those supply chains to be from responsible companies and in an environment of responsible business conduct. And so they are looking for partners in, even down to the mine level, for companies that are producing the minerals in a responsible way. Africa obviously has a wealth of natural resources, and for the key minerals that are needed for the green transition. And so there's lots of opportunity for Africa to be in these supply chains and products. And at the same time, again, the companies want to come here to say these are the environmental, social governance, and other sustainability kind of modes of operation that we need to see, so that these green minerals end up in green products, and that full narrative and supply chain is established.
Yeah. Building on that, how do we align the conversation within those industries? Because you brought up one, the downstream industry. So how do we align that conversation?
So we're here to listen to the mining companies. We know that mining companies have a lot of reporting requirements on them already, whether that's within the countries where they're producing, whether that's with their direct customers. So we're here to listen. What already are the mining companies doing that fulfills responsible production, and also then to come together as we set our standards. For example, in 2024, the RMI will update its environmental, social, and governance standard. We want to work with the full supply chain, the full value chain, to delineate, to articulate those standards in such a way that meets the sustainability needs and the abilities of mining companies, as well as at the other end, the regulatory and other requirements and the stakeholder expectations that these mines are also, and minerals are delivering benefits to the community where they're from, as well as powering the products which will power the energy transition.
The Mining Indaba is an investment-orientated show. So how do we get these industries, or are they even a natural fit, especially when we talk about mining investment on the continent?
So if you looked at the RMI of 15 years ago, it's a big question mark, and there's a big bridge to span. But now I think that bridge is really established. Companies in the downstream, electronics and automotive, are really reshaping their supply chains to have more direct relationship with mines and mining companies so that they can, in some cases, have offtake agreements, in some cases even joint venture. So that supply chain is shortening in many ways, and so that really allows for direct investment from downstream industry in the upstream. The RMI this year is also really excited to launch our RMI Investor Network. We think the same risk assessment tools which the RMI delivers, from assessments and audits and standards to our country of origin and risk readiness assessment, all those tools can be used by investors as well to assess where they want to invest, again, whether in the green transition or other places. And so we are welcoming in the investment community to the RMI and think that's another platform, again, really relevant to Indaba.
Jennifer, let's leave it there. Thanks so much for your time. For more insightful conversation, go to MITV on the Mining Indaba website.